Alrighty. Hey gang. Welcome back, you guys. Episode 141 of Zero Carb Journal. And good morning, you guys. Happy Sunday morning. I'm Matt. As always, nice to see you guys. How are ya? Hope you guys are doing great. Hope you're having a great Sunday. Welcome back. Yeah, here we are, huh? So, let's see. Have you guys had a good week? I hope you have. I've had a really good one myself. It's been really nice. I started the week in the rain and got a lot of stuff that I've been kind of fall website stuff, things like that. Just kind of plugged away at some stuff I've been meaning to do for a while. SSL, HTTPS. I was really kind of working on some website things this week, stuff I've been neglecting. And then we broke out in the sun, and I got out and rode my bike quite a bit, and I got some surf yesterday, which was awesome. And what else? I've been, surfing was great. I got to see some old friends yesterday and stuff. You guys know I love that. So I've been having a great week. Just really settling into fall here. Really looking forward to what's coming down the road. This fall, this winter, I've just, we've been kind of in a holding pattern here. So yeah, I'm just feeling optimistic, feeling good. So I hope you guys are doing good. Hope you guys are having a great week. Really quick, I'd like to pause, and thank my sponsor, letsgetchecked.com. As you guys know, these are home blood tests that give so much information about our progress on our health journeys here. So you can use these guys to test your cholesterol, test your CRP, test your hormones, all sorts of stuff, vitamin E, vitamin D. You can do those tests at home, and you can get yourself some great data that you can use to monitor how you're progressing here. So letsgetchecked.com. You can use my links. They're in the description, trylgc.com. And if you use my code ZeroCarb, you get 20% off. So please do. Thank you guys all for your support on this, by the way. I really appreciate it. Been really stoked on this program, and just wanted to make sure I get that in there every week. So thanks you guys for letting me do that. So let's see. So like I said, I've had a great week. It's been, I'm feeling really good, you guys. I'm feeling really optimistic, and my energy's been great. All the plans or not plans, but all my goals that I've been working towards these last few years have kind of put me in a good situation here. And like I said, I am just sort of in a holding pattern, kind of waiting to see, if I can travel, buy plane tickets, and go international and stuff like that. Because that is sort of what my next big move is for me, to see if I can, go out in the world and exist and do kind of things that I was doing before I changed to carnivore. So, but I'm optimistic about all that. And I've been really working hard on staying positive, staying in the moment, and just enjoying where I am right now, despite not being able to move forward on some of those goals. And it's been great. I've been doing just fine. So I hope you guys are. Let's talk about zero carb. Let's talk about eating stuff. So this week did I stray at all? I don't think so. I think this week I've just eaten my ground beef and eggs. Oh, that's not true. I had a little bit of thin sliced ribeye. And for the most part, I've been feeling great. My ground beef, it's right on the verge of being too lean, to be honest. It's really fatty for being homegrown, for being all grass-fed and all that. But after a few weeks of eating just that, I can definitely tell that I sort of start to feel like I need some more fat. So that's why I do add in those ribeye. Thin sliced ribeyes, it does seem to make a difference. Excuse me, guys. I crashed on my bike this week, and I crashed right on my face right there. And this morning when I was shaving, I didn't even notice that it was still kind of had some healing to do, and I peeled it right off of there. So you'll have to excuse me. But anyways, yeah. So I have been eating a little bit of using the ribeye to add a little fat to my diet. And as long as I keep it in moderation, it seems to work great. If I go too heavy on the ribeye, I do end up getting a little bit of stomach issues from the fat, it seems like, or the gristle. But yeah, so for the most part, it's been going great. And it is just interesting for me to note how I can really sort of tell as that fat starts to lean out in my diet, and I start to get towards the kind of like the end of my built up reserves or whatever, and I start to really crave it because the ribeyes start to sound really good, and the bacon starts to lure me back. So yeah, so for the most part, I'm keeping it really simple. I'm loving my ground beef. I have no issues there. I guess what I'm trying to say is I'm noticing that I'm a little low on fat, and I'm definitely starting to have some of those cravings. So actually, today I have some full-size ribeyes thawing out that I have had in the freezer for a while, just kind of waiting for a day like this. So I think this afternoon I'll probably have a big ribeye. Now, I don't do that very often. I almost never eat a real, inch thick or whatever it might be ribeye steak, because I find that I don't care for them that much, and I have a really hard time eating the fat when it's not fried. When it's just cooked, it just doesn't sit well with me. But I continually revisit that every few months, because I still believe that, probably a whole cut of meat is probably the best format for it in terms of, what our bodies should like, I guess. I don't know. Anyways, I seem to do better on the ground beef, but I keep coming back to the steaks. And so I'm going to have that steak. I'm looking at it right now. And that'll definitely get my fat up. It might end up leading to some stomach issues, but we'll see. So I'll give you guys a report on that. I keep hoping that I'm gonna like them. I keep hoping that I'm gonna come around and be like, yeah, this is. And I do. I like the first couple bites, but by the time I'm not very far through the steak, I'm like, I can't eat the fat. It just doesn't taste good to me, and the gristle, I know, makes me sick. And so, anyways, I'm just gonna keep trying. But yeah, I keep hoping I'm gonna one day eat one of those steaks and be like, that's. I mean, sometimes I get one bite that's just like the best bite I've ever had, but it's not very often that the whole steak goes down easily like my ground beef does. My ground beef, I like every bite. So, anyways, that's just me being weird. I know most of you guys love steaks, so that's not a carnivore thing, you guys. Most people love steaks. And on that note, I don't eat much Friday, but let's go back to what I talked about last week, because our dear friend Robin left a wonderful comment, and I didn't get back to comment on your comment, Robin, but I wanted to say you're so right, and thank you for bringing that up. I was talking last week about how, I'm enthused about my lack of variety, and I'm not enthused because there isn't any variety, but I'm enthused because it doesn't come off, it doesn't feel like a negative thing in my life, excuse me, you guys, that I'm eating the same thing day to day to day. Like normally that lack of variety would be really onerous, right? I think in my whole life I would have been like, oh man, peanut butter and jelly for every meal. I'd hate that. That's how I lived as a kid, but conceptually I'd hate that. But come to find out with my burgers, I love it. I'm fine. I don't really crave variety. But Robin brought up a great point. She said, that's a good point, but it's important to remember that for many carnivores, variety is something that is still possible and enjoyable. So I thought that was really interesting. Robin, commented, I'm just paraphrasing because I'm going from memory, but that she enjoys pork and chicken and beef and fish and oysters, and there's always something new, a new way to have stuff. And I thought that was a really interesting observation, because while I've totally moved away from that, and I was, a foodie, and I had every kitchen gadget, I love to think about what I was going to cook tomorrow and spend all day doing it. And when that went away, I was really hurt. I was really sad. I was really lost in terms of what I was going to do with all my time. That was that was one of my main interests in life. Between growing the food and preparing the food or preserving or whatever it was, that is what I did. With all of my time, for the most part, when I wasn't, I mixed it up with surfing or whatever, but, so when that went away, I was lost. So really, it's the comment isn't to say that, that variety is a negative thing, or that you can't have it. It was more just to say how surprised I was, when I found out that it didn't end my life, that I had to eat the same thing every day. I thought that would be just like the end of everything that I loved. So it was really eye-opening, but it's true that you can have all sorts of stuff, and if you're not super sensitive like me to spices and, you know, little bits of something else coming in there, then you can really enjoy a wonderful varied palette with a whole host of flavors and cooking styles and all sorts of stuff. And I you know, I still hope that I can do that to some extent. Like I said, I don't miss it, and that's the wonderful part, but it is sort of nice to think about. I mean, that's honestly, that's part of my future goals, right? And my future goals are to go out in the world and sort of mingle and do better with being a part of the world, as opposed to just staying here and, you know, staying safe and eating what I can eat. So, so a big part of that is going out and seeing, can I find steaks out there? I know I can, but typically if I'm eating out in restaurants, you know, they're always going to have, usually there's going to be some contamination, let's say, with cross-contamination with some other stuff in the kitchen or ingredients or flavors. I'd like to go to barbecue places and try their different barbecues. And that's probably going to mean, I don't need to eat their sauce, but it's probably going to mean having some spices or salts or things like that. Salt and pepper and whatever. So, just kind of a side note, just wanted to A, agree with you, Robin, and say that was a really good point, and also B, point out a little more about what I was trying to say about the variety, you know, more just that it's possible to enjoy life without variety, and that surprised me, and it was very welcome to discover. So there's that, and but yeah, variety is something that is very possible. And actually, I had another friend who I was talking to who was considering trying carnivore for their health, and they said, yeah, but I don't know if I could just do the ground beef, which is, I mean, that's how you're going to feel before you get started, for sure. And they said, you know, is it possible to do this? And I was like, yeah, you know, I mean, if you're, most people who are carnivore who don't have the restrictions like I do, there's a whole lot of stuff they can eat, right? Like you can go to the mini mart and get some stuff, or, I mean, there's a whole host of snacks and cheese and whatever on down the line. So just wanted to circle back around and touch back on that. So there's that. And let's see what else. So the week, let's talk about the week coming up. Let's talk about what's in the future here. So I have quite a busy sort of next few weeks, as it were, with regards to my stove stuff. I've got just sort of a lot of people on my I'm in communication with right now. So these last few weeks we've been really ramping up, and so I've been actually busy today, which has been really nice. Spending my days, like I said, working on websites, emailing, working and helping with people's builds and doing that stuff. So I'm actually really looking forward to these coming weeks as I sort of dig through this workload. And this is always a really exciting time for me because I'm getting to see all my customers kind of finish their builds, or, you know, it's really, really fun. So so I'm really looking forward to this week. Falls like a really, really great time for that business, and so I'm really enjoying. There's some people in my mind right now that I'm thinking of that have got some stuff to share with me. So I'm just really enjoying watching that unfold. So I'm really looking forward to this week. Looking forward to continuing to push forward on my stove stuff. Really looking forward to fall, continuing to move in here. I'm hoping that we get some more surf and I get out there. But I've been riding a bunch on my new bike. As a matter of fact, I told you I crashed. And so I'm looking forward to doing a lot of that, getting out there. I'm hoping that we don't have too much rain. And that's it. I'm just going to try and keep moving forward, stay, keeping my body physically capable of doing stuff. That's been kind of a challenge as we slow down here. I've been sort of, making sure to push myself to stay more active. So I'm just kind of looking forward to this week, watching the world go around, seeing things unfold, staying here, staying in the moment, staying positive, trying my best to make progress and move forward. And that's my deal every day. I'm just going to try and wake up and be super thankful for an opportunity to move forward and do my best to do that. So that's what I've got going this week. I hope you guys are staying the course and making some progress. I know it can be tough. I know things are kind of crazy out there, and I know that being a carnivore isn't always easy. So actually, on that note, one more side note I went for a bike ride this week with a dear friend, and he's a carnivore as well. We've come down this road a long ways together, and it is so wonderful to just connect with somebody who knows the challenges. I sometimes still, get. I mean, it's hard. It's hard to consider yourself a reasonable person and think you may make decisions based on good information, but then to have this one viewpoint that everyone instantly judges you as a crazy person is something that has been difficult for me personally to deal with. That's a real challenge, to be on the fringe with a viewpoint and still try to maintain my self image as somebody who is fairly reasonable and listens to science and blah blah blah. So I still I don't think there's any contradiction in my position and in those two positions, but the rest of the world sure does. And so that's the hard part. It's something I definitely struggle with. And so just having a friend who is experiencing that same thing and to kind of just share that with it means a lot to me. So I had that experience this week, and it was really wonderful. So yeah, so there's that. And with that said, I think I'm going to check out now. Going to go enjoy my Sunday, watch some football, hopefully watch my Seahawks keep on kicking butt. I'm going to try and just sort of rest up and get ready for the week. And then this week I'm going to dive back in and push hard on my workouts and my website stuff and just making some progress and moving forward. So thank you guys so much for letting me rap at you with my journals. I can't tell you how much I appreciate all your support. All your kind comments and all that. It just means so much to me every week. You guys make a big difference in my life. So thank you for that. Check out letsgetchecked.com. Use my code TRYLGC and 0Carb for 20% off. Links are in the description. Test your blood. And with that, I think I'll say adios to you guys. Hope you have a great week. Stay the course. Make some progress. And I'll be back again next week. We'll do this again. So there you go. Thanks, you guys. Have a great week.